Alright, good morning. Today we're looking at a Class B refit of my old Razorback Class-A ship. I tried to spiffy it up a little bit, increase the cargo and the weapons, commensurate with the Class B ship. But anyways, we'll get down into the shipbuilder, taking a little tour of it. And as you can see, it's got this radiator spine, which is why I call it the Razorback. There's not really much to it on the inside. It's just really a single 2x1 hab. That's the only thing I can get to fit in here. So that with the cockpit that provides 4 crew members, it's just a single 1x1 hab here.
How are you?
Dad, will you read to me tonight before bed?
This is it. That's the ship.
Read
Something
to
you
you, sure.
need?
I like that very much.
But it has 8 crew members. If you want to do anything else inside the ship, you're going to have to do something else because there's nothing else going to fit in this thing. All the weapons are just, well, I wasn't able to get everything under it. There's the wing tip mounted weapons. I really like this, the shield generator actually fits right here under the 2 DeGamma cargo holds, because not much will fit under this bridge that I used, the Stroud bridge. There's something about these two pieces right here underneath that hang down that blocks just about everything. But for some reason, DeGamma cargo holds will fit, and because of this slope, you can jam a Vanguard shield generator up under there, and it fits just fine. As always, this is a non-glitched, non-mod, no merging or anything like that build, straight up vanilla.
Hey, what can I do for you? Sure, have at it.
So this is the Razorback. Tried to spiffy it up a little bit. I don't have the old one anymore because the old Class-A, this is it. I've upgraded it. This is really just a smaller version of this ship. So if you wanted something, this is also Class B, maybe a little bit more utilitarian because it's got room for 5 of these 2x1 habs. Yeah. So you could do a little bit more with that many. But this is what I come up with. It's got 4,250 cargo, 8 crew members, 28 light year jump range, 100 mobility. The mass tops out at 1797, and that's the maximum mass limit before we hit. If I add 1 more ton, we drop down to 99 mobility. That's no bueno. Weapons are all, I know it's a minor point, but I've had people complain where sometimes I'll have the weapons like in line with each other, like this, and they're like, well, this gun would just be shooting that gun, and that's true, but the game doesn't care. It's not that kind of game. But I made an effort so that every weapon would have its own line of sight, I guess, without having to pass through anything. I was talking about earlier about these DeGamma cargo holds. You can see there's the shield generator. It fits right on top of this cargo hold that I stuck up front. And originally I was trying to put the where did I put the? Oh, it's down here. I wanted to put this right there, and then I would just cap this off with something. This stupid bridge, like it's got these 2 pieces that hang down right here, and it blocks literally everything. I went through every grav drive in the game, and I found the only one that fits under there is this Vanguard Recon drive. I don't know why that one fits, but the jump range would be so low that I would want to build a ship like that if I could get away with it. Maybe like a starter ship or something, but 28 light years jump range is the minimum I shoot for. I think that's the highest you ever have to jump in the game. So I'll stick that thing in there, and then these 2 DeGammas have just enough of a slope to allow that to fit. So that was a kind of a eureka moment when I was building this, because originally I was thinking I was going to have to stick this up on the top, And I kind of like the idea because I call this the Razorback. That this kind of thing looks like a little bit of like a razor. So, anyways, that was my thinking. The only thing I wasn't totally happy with was I had to just bolt these two fuel tanks onto the undersides of the wings. And normally I'd rather internalize the fuel if possible. Like if I had somewhere to, did I delete? Oh, I deleted the grav drive, sorry. So there's a grav drive in here. Now normally if I had more space somewhere, I would just stick the fuel down in here. Oops. So you try to hide the fuel somewhere up under there, because you can't get, this is a rear loader cockpit. You come in from the back, so there's no reason to have anything other than like fuel or something underneath it. But now I don't have anywhere to put this thing. Unless like I guess I could do like this, get rid of the cargo. There's a lot of things you could do, but I always try to max out the cargo as much as I can while still maintaining 100 mobility. That's the key right there. 100 mobility is always my hard limit, and then that's where I have to put the end of the cargo. But anyways, I couldn't think of anything better, so that's just, I finally gave up and just stuck them up under the wings, which I don't really care for that. I guess I could stick them down here, but I like my Nova braking thrusters. Oops. Why do I have an error? Something not attached. Something always falls off. There we go. Alright, so if you are just looking for a ship that you like, generally I think there's like two people that use ships in Starfield, and that's the people that do everything in their ship and the people that don't do anything in their ship other than go places. I'm the kind of guy that really doesn't do anything in the ship. I just use it to go places, and then anytime I want to craft or store stuff, I do it all at the lodge because it has the infinite storage there. But that's not for everybody. If you really need a ship that does a little bit of everything, this is the Ursa Major. It has every hab. I think it has like 25 habs inside of it. And all the weapons are internalized. They're actually inside the structure of the ship. And this is a vanilla mod, or a vanilla ship. There's no mods or anything. So 6,000 cargo. If you wanted a ship that, oops, going the wrong way, that just has general all-purpose with the most cargo you can put, but still maintaining 100 mobility, this is probably the best I've been able to make. 8,000 cargo. Still has 5 habs, room for 5 habs. And maxed out weapons, maxed out shields. And this was kind of a pain to figure out how to get it all in there too, because there wasn't really a whole lot of room to play with. I had to get creative with this last spot in here. Anyways, that's another video for another day. My ladybug. Where is it at? Oh, there it is. Alright, so let me take this thing apart, and then I'll come back real quick, and then we'll throw it together and take it out for a spin. Alright, I got this thing pulled apart. We're going to start from the bottom, work our way up. At the center, holding all this together, is going to be I'm using Deimos habs on this one. So it's a Deimos companionway. We're going to have 2 of these NG-20 landing gears in their wide configuration. You pick these up at Titan. And then we have to have an Aculander 11 landing gear, and you can pick this up at Neon from Stroud. And the reason we had this separate, or use a separate type of landing gear, is these don't have any frontal attach points, and this hauler has to attach to the front of the gear. So, anyways, we're gonna have the single Deimos companionway. We'll snap on 2 of these landing gears, these NG-20s. Behind it, we're going to use a ship bed landing, or 200 landing bay, and it has one of those that goes forwards and backwards. This is going to be a rear loader type ship. As far as the engines go, we're using 4 of these SAE 5660 engines from Slayton Aerospace. you got to have Starship Design rank 4 in order to use this. So I always tell people if you're serious about building ships, you need to get Starship Design rank 4 maxed out. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because all the best equipment is going to require that stuff. Now they have other engines. I can't buy the SAE engines here because those are Freestar Collective ports only. Yeah. So like the SAE, all the Slate and Aerospace stuff is, excuse me, from Slate and Aerospace. That it comes from the Freestar Collective, like Neon and Aquila and Hopetown. So you can't get them on that. But for some reason, the reason I do all my ship builds, by the way, if you didn't know, at Alpha Centauri is because if I try to enter the ship at Neon, like on the launch pad, usually the game will crash. Really, any of the Freestar Collective ports, the game just gives up the ghost, and I get hung up inside the like on the loading screen or something. I found that for some reason here at Jemison that that this never happens. So I do all my shipbuilding here. Who knows? I don't know. So I use this Aculander 11 landing gear on the front. These two SAE 5660. These are what are they? 4 power each, 3 power each. So you can have 4 of them. They'll hook up just like that. And then I'm using 2 of my standard Nova braking engines, starboard and port. And that's going to be primarily deck. Oh, sorry. Right here, we're going to put a 10T hauler cargo hold. These can go forwards or backwards. We're going to set it in the forward configuration. Deck 2 will start off with this Aurora 12G grav drive. And it'll go right there. Hang on, let me look at something. Okay, I was confusing myself. I'm going to use 2 of these Galleon S203 cargo holds. Now, some cargo is only at Freestar Collective, and then others are only at the UC ports. These S Galleon cargo holds you can get everywhere, but like these, the Gamma only come from Freestar Collective ports, and the version that you can get here over at the UC side is these sextant ballast cargo holds. So this is what they look like on the UC side. This is what they look like on the Freestar Collective side. Was that 210? I guess they are a little bit different on the cargo size. But for this build, because of the way that shield worked, I want to use the ones from Panoptis. So anyways, we're using 2 of these Galleon S203 cargo holds, just like that. Behind them, we'll set our number 3 and number 4 SAE 5660 engines. And then right on top of that Deimos Companionway 1x1, we're going to put a second Deimos Companionway 1x1. And we're going to use a DC-303 fast ignition reactor right there. And then hooked up to the tail of the, or to the rear end of this DC-303 reactor, we're going to hook up our 10T hauler cargo hold. Let's see. I guess we'll do this Stroud control station 2x1. And it's going to go just like that. This, I don't know why, like I could have eliminated a lot of problems if I just used a different cockpit, like this Magellan. And I originally was going to do it this way, and it like solves all the problems about sticking stuff under the nose because it doesn't have the same limitations. But I really wanted to find a way to use this Viking cockpit because I don't really get to use it a lot in this type of, especially small builds. Usually I see them on really large builds. So you see it just leaves that little cavity. Now you can't stick these things up here yet because there's no way to hook them up. They only hook up from the sides. Technically we're using this like inside out, you know, facing, normally they would be like this, but we're going to have them facing outwards from each other. And we're going to be able to get away with that because we're going to use 2 of these Nova Cowling 2L wings. They're going to snap on just like that. And like that. And then, like I said, it leaves that little cavity in here. And we can snap these two DeGamma 1000 cargo holds just like that. And I don't even know how I figured this out. I think it was just playing around. But I noticed there was a little bit of a gap in here, and then I just got the big brain idea. I was like, I wonder if I could stick the shield in there, and it works. So to say I was shocked is an understatement. But I thought that was a pretty cool idea for space management. Let's see, we'll go ahead and put our wings on like that. They stick out a little bit, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So there's two more of these Nova Cowling 2Ls, and they're just going to be connected to the, I guess it's the landing gears down here. That's not right. That's not right either. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, I'm doing this backwards. You got to hook up the back ones first. Alright, so you got two Nova Cowlings. You can see they can go left or right. They can have a small version, and they can go forward. But we need them to go backwards. And we're going to have them hang out just like that. So, yeah, so it's on the mid deck. And then the first one will go in just like that. So this one doesn't have anything to hook up to on the sides, but it can hook up to this one, which is hooked up to the engine. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. We're going to hook up the rear one first, and then the fourth Nova 2L on the front. Now it has these little attach points on the inside. There's not a lot of room there, but there is enough room for these. I don't know if you could get away with putting a Class A weapon there, or a Class B weapon. No. See, it doesn't work. But Class A weapons, and because these Vanguard Obliterators are some of the best weapons in the game, they're Class A, they're small enough to where they just fit in there on each winglet. So I'm using, oh yeah, that's right. So that's 4. There's 2 more that we'll hook up to the cockpit here in a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And you don't even have to, I could have put these weapons anywhere, but I didn't like the fact that this hard point wasn't being used with anything, so I just snapped it on there. Just, I don't know. Like I could have put the guns here, or here, or here, anywhere, and it would have worked. Get on there. Now, looking down at it, actually, you know what? Let's hook up the tail first. So I love these tails, these Deimos Tail A's. They're really big. And if you got like an overhang here, so like, all right, what am I going to put there? You know, this fits just perfect. It lines up with this 10T cargo hold just perfectly. So I was really happy when they came out. It's the same cargo hold as the front, except it's turned around backwards. And then because it's called a Razorback, we've got these Deimos radiators hooked up to the back. And then to taper it off, we're going to use a Deimos Spine A. So, now to try to just spiffy up the top, if you're looking straight down, I'm using 4 of these Deimos bumpers. And these things have forwards and backwards, and this is the mid where it takes up 2 spots. We're not going to do it that way though. We're going to use the small Deimos bumpers in the port, the aft. Actually, that's the front and aft. And then where's the other one at? So that's the basic ship right there. Now, excuse me. Just because of these cargo holds, just look a little, I don't know, funky. I guess you could stick them in there however you want. Doesn't really matter. I just kind of like the way they kind of taper off on the edges here. Basically, to try to hide the discontinuity of different components here, you know, it just looks a little off. I'm going to try to like cover that up with these Nova radiators. And that's something about these dampless bumpers is there's almost no room in between the top of this cargo hold and the bottom of this bumper. And these radiators fit just in there barely. And we can do 4 of them. And that lines up with the top dampless radiators up on the spine. And that kind of just covers up the fact that these cargo holds are up there. At least that's the idea. I guess we're going to use a Horizon weapons mount, and we'll stick it on the front gear, or the, excuse me, I guess this would be the starboard. Starboard's the right gear. And I don't even really need it. I didn't really need to have that there. Like I said, I could have put these on the wings, but I don't know. I just thought it looked cool. I was trying to keep stuff off the top of the wings is what I was doing. I was trying to make it look a little cleaner up top. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Horizon weapons mounts. I'm using 4 PBO 175 Helion beams. 4 of these PBO 100 auto neutron beams. And 6 of these Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors. As far as the cockpit or the Docker goes, I really should start trying to use something else. I think I use these slim Dockers in nearly all my builds. Like I could have, well, not really. That wouldn't have really looked right. So I have this one 1x1 hab at the bottom. Of course, these things have to hook up to a hab, so we're just going to stick it on the bottom. They can go up or down. Stick it on the bottom like that. Now, I really agonized, like I said earlier, about this fuel. I was trying to find something that would keep it off the bottom of the ship like that, but I couldn't come up with anything. So we're just going to stick a HE3 550 Titan fuel tank at the bottom here and a 450 HE3 tank on this side. So that gives me the maximum mass allowed while still maintaining 100 mobility. And give me good cargo for, that's about as good as you can get out of a Class B ship and still have 100 mobility. Or at least the best I've been able to pull off. But that's the ship. And like I said, there's not much to it. It's a pretty simple design, but I tried to give it a fighter look. Like I did originally. I was trying to do some some weird things with it where do I have that gun at? Is it this one? So I was going to have it look something like this. I was going to forget about the cargo. Get rid of that. And I was going to have to change this because there's no way to hook this stuff up now, but it would have looked something like this looking down at it. Or has more of a like fighter design, I guess. Like a weird, I don't know. Maybe I'll play with that later. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But like I said, that's a video for another day. But if you just want a good overall fighter, has decent cargo, go everywhere you need it to go, and you don't need to do anything inside the ship other than go A to B, then that's a ship for you. If you want something with a little more utility, this is the same ship. It's just elongated a little bit, which, you know, just by adding just a little bit of length to it, just one square basically, that lets me go from 2 habs to 5. So it really exponentially increases the amount of internal mass that you can work with. So I'll probably do another video on this later. Just maybe I was going to try to make that a Class C, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's take this thing up for a spin. I know a lot of people don't like the rear loading type ships, but that was the only way I could get this to work. Sacrifices had to be made. Just boost up to the top.
Have any new books for me?
Liftoff looks good. All systems on.
I think having the starport this close to the city would not be allowed, just for safety reasons, and it would also be a noise thing where everybody would just literally
Achieving
be
orbit
deaf
now.
in the city from listening to that going off all day. We'll go out and see how the boys at Varun are doing. Yeah, I always thought it was funny, like, Alpha Centauri is like one of the closest star systems to Earth. And so the settled systems really isn't that big, considering the size of the Milky Way galaxy. And the fact that there's this many habitable planets within range of Earth is just ludicrous. That would never happen. Where's my shield so low?
Shall be judged.
Ship shooting at me, try to get a little bit behind them.
You took out their jump drive. Enemy shield generator has been locked down. Grab drive.
Of course, particle weapons are the best in the game. I really need to, oops. I need to, just try to, I think I've done that before in another video. It's been a long time though, where I just use lasers and mass drivers type weapons. So you use the lasers to knock out shields, and then you use the autocannons to decimate the hull. And it works, but I think the developers in this game kind of messed up by making particle weapons like the end all be all. Like there's just no reason to just use the lasers or autocannon type weapons if you can use particle weapons.
You guys get to join the No Shields Club.
So,
The enemy's grab drive has been disabled.
oh shit. They are dead. Is there a hot spot somewhere out? Whoops. Get in there. Dang. What is this? Yeah, we'll try this hostile activity area.
You shall be judged.
Target's jump system down.
Pop goes their engine.
This is a problem with using auto weapons, is they hit at full power, but even like with one power in the
They cannot jump away.
so like when you're using auto type weapons, you don't have to keep the weapons banks fully powered up. Like they always hit full power, but how fast they recharge is dependent on how much power you put into each weapon system. So once they deplete, then you have to wait longer for them to recharge. Whereas non-auto weapons always fire at full power and they never run out, but they don't hit for full power unless you charge up the weapon systems to full. So it's kind of depending on how your playstyle is. Like on this one I used auto weapons, but on my Ursa Major, my big ship, I just went ahead and put all non-auto regular weapons on there and just blow through everything. It's super easy. But let me find the sun, get pointed into the light, and we'll take a look at this from the outside. Well, we got a little bit of an eclipse going up here. This is the ship. It's got a little bit of a swept back wing look to it. I'm I'm happy with the way that came out. I kind of recessed the engines a little bit. Like I could have pulled them back and made them flush with the wingtips back here, and then added more stuff in, in the internals. But that wasn't the idea. Like I said, I have the bigger ship to do that with on the bigger variant of this. But this came out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's only got the 1 2x1/2. That's the major limiting factor. Is it's just a ship for space combat and to get you from point A to point B. Hello. Not much to it. I hope you guys enjoyed the build, and I don't know what I'm going to post next, but probably, like I said, I think I'll do the bigger version of this next, and then I don't know where we'll go from there. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.